Hi guys, welcome back. This is lecture 8 in our historic video lecture series, and this is a particularly special video for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, because for the first time, when I close my eyes, I can see your faces, and that makes it special for me. So now, whenever I'm looking at the camera, I can imagine whom I'm speaking to. Anyway guys, this is lecture 8, 10 words, some easy, some difficult. Let's get started. The first one is so easy, I know you know it, and you might be asking me like, why are you introducing such easy word? Answer, because I never hear my students say it. It's an adjective, extraordinary. By the way, I often hear this word pronounced two different ways. The first one, I'm not sure, maybe it's British English. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Or more commonly to my ear, extraordinary. I think it's a little bit like tomato. Both are correct, so whichever one feels more comfortable to you. But please say it with me. Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Notice my intonation when I say it. You don't say it with monotone voice. Your tone of voice has to rise and fall like extraordinary. Did you hear it? Extraordinary. That's extraordinary. Anyway, what do I have here? Very unusual, and in my own mind, remarkable. So whenever I say that is remarkable, that is extraordinary, I mean something is remarkable, very unusual. Let's see here. Hey guys, do you like diamonds? Oh my gosh, I want to show. Someone's coming to visit. I want to show. I shouldn't do this, but guys, let me, hold on. I'm going to turn the camera around. Look who's, yes, Mr. Kitty. I couldn't help it. This cat is a political science major. Kitty, 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 kitty. This has never happened in one of my videos. Do you see him? Wait a minute. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, he's right behind me. Oh, there he is. Yes, such a good kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. All right, well, this is definitely one of my better lectures. Anyway, I think that cat is extraordinary. Guys, do you like diamonds? Me too. Very beautiful, sparkly, but I'll show you something even better. You guys know that I like nature. I find that when I look, not just nature, like something big, there's a very large tree right next to me. But when I look at the smallest things, my mind begins to roam the Milky Way. Look at this. It's a photograph of an ant, and it looks like it's drinking water, a drop of water from a leaf. Extraordinary. What are you doing? Look at that cat. You're distracting me. Okay. All right, well, just do your thing and I'll do mine. Look at this. Here's a young girl. I don't know how well you can see this on her screen, but she's wearing a necklace with seashells. I think she's Polynesian, or maybe from Papua New Guinea. Look at the feathers in her hair. Obviously, her culture is very different than ours. I think it's an extraordinary photograph. I'm really captivated and enchanted by this. I would like to learn more. Oh, cat's gone. Look at this bird. Extraordinary. I'll go through these more quickly. You guys know I'm interested in Africa. Look at this young boy next to a bull of some kind. I find that extraordinary. Again, I'm interested in small things. Take a look at this. What a strange animal. Look at its eyes. Extraordinary. My dear students, take a look at this. A friend of mine gave me this. It's gold snail eye cream, like an eye patch. I think you're supposed to put it on after you take a shower, and it has snail mucus, and it's supposed to be salubrious. Maybe keeps you looking young. By the way, I think it's for sale at Olive Young. I don't know. Anyway, I tried it once. It was a little strange, but I liked it. Extraordinary. Ah! Take a look at this. Look at this beetle. Guys, in Miguk, in the south, we call it firefly. And in the north, they're called lightning bugs. They are bioluminescent. Extraordinary. This is a forest full of them. Have you ever seen a firefly? It reminds me of my childhood, and I think it's extraordinary. Indeed, our whole planet is full of wonders. And last but not least, you are extraordinary. Your professor is quite average, but my students, yes, you are extraordinary. What is that in Korean? Gi-han. Gi-han? Cool. Gi-han. Is that correct? Gi-han? That word is new to me. Okay, moving on, guys. This next one, you don't mind if I take a sip of coffee. This next one, it's a verb, a little tricky. Elicit. Please say it with me. Elicit. Elicit. What do I have here? Yeah, it just means to get a response from someone or information, one or the other. Get some kind of response or information from someone. Guys, on your handout, look at that second definition there. To elicit, I cannot explain it any more lucidly than this. To elicit is to bring forth or draw out. So for example, a good teacher will ask questions in such a way that it will elicit responses from his or her students. That's true. So guys, I think there are good professors and there are great professors. I'm probably the former, just normal. But I think a really great professor tries to elicit responses from his or her students. In a way, it's easy to just lecture from a podium, but to try to draw out thoughts and answers from students is challenging. So for example, in some of my classes, students are very talkative, while others are quiet. That's not bad. It's quite common, and it's frankly my job to try to elicit information from my students. Not because I'm nosy, but just I want to try to bring students out of their shell and make them feel comfortable articulating their thoughts and feelings. It's a real challenge. Okay, anyway, elicit. Oh, in Korean this is difficult. Let me try. Garaneda. Garaneda? Garaneda. Do you understand my pronunciation? Elicit. Garaneda. Garaneda. It's difficult for me to say, but you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, moving on, guys. The next one is an adjective, pretty easy. Antiquated. Please say it with me. Antiquated. Do you know the word antique? Like something old? It's similar to that. Antiquated. Please say it with me. Antiquated. What do I have here? Old and no longer useful. Something that is outdated. Take a look at this. This is not a very good picture, but can you see that, guys? Yogi? Do you know what that is? It's an old, antiquated typewriter. Have you ever tried typing on a typewriter? I remember when I was a boy playing on a typewriter. I did not know how to type, but I would like to try. I do remember playing, and it takes force. Now we're so used to gently typing on our laptop or desktop, and you just barely have to press down on a key. But with the typewriter, it's like so you get a workout using one of these antiquated machines. Can you think of something antiquated? Oh my God. My dear students, no joke. When I was a kid, I had this in my home. Do you know what this is? It's called a rotary phone. And I've seen videos on YouTube of kids, they don't even know how to use it, and it freaks me out. But for those of you who don't know, by the way, my telephone number, if you ever want to call me in America, is 478-9565. Please tell my mom Scott said hi. So to dial, you put your finger in the hole. You see this metal thing here? And you put your finger in, and then you roll the plastic thing. It's like, it swivels like, and then 7. It takes maybe 20 or 30 seconds to dial someone's phone number. It still works, but obviously it's antiquated. A rotary phone. What a piece of junk. Oh yeah, here's just a picture of how it's operated. But take a look at this. You'll probably remember this. This is an old Nokia phone. I guess probably still works, but obviously it's antiquated. What's antiquated? Old and outdated. Old-fashioned. Take a look at this. Now this is a modern smartphone. And my dear students, the reason I chose this was my first smartphone, which I got in Korea. This is Samsung Galaxy 2. You know, it was a good phone, but obviously there have been upgrades with the camera and so on and so forth. Maybe the internet is faster. So this phone, Galaxy 2, it's antiquated. Got it? Good. Can you think of anything antiquated? By the way, just so you know, it doesn't have to be machines. Technology is a really easy example because technology advances quickly, so it's easy to find examples. But just so you know, and this comes right from your handout here, guys. You see where I am? Down here? Penultimate example. Do you remember penultimate? Second to last. So antiquated ideas or antiquated teaching methods just means outdated. Antiquated methods of farming, so old-fashioned, no longer useful. In Korean, Gushigen. Gushigen, antiquated. Do you believe your professor is Gushigen? Probably. Just a couple more examples, guys. I really want you to know this one. Take a look at this. Yes, this is first Apple computer. And I don't know when this came out, maybe early 80s. Well, I won't say the first computer, but first Macintosh. And I mean, of course, it's a piece of junk now. It's probably valuable, like in a museum. But my dear students, I don't remember this particular model, but I certainly remember floppy disk. Do you remember floppy disk? Those I mean, now we use USB, but I remember when I was a kid, there was no USB. It was, you put the floppy disk in here. Anyway, your professor's a dinosaur. One more example, guys, of antiquated. Take a look at this. Now, antiquated, I don't want to confuse you, is not the same thing as obsolete. Obsolete means basically useless. Antiquated just means out of date. Take a look at this. It's a compass. Works just fine. But guys, if I go to Apgujeong, I'm not going to use a compass to find my way around. I'll just use, what's it called, Naver Maps, and it has GPS. I mean, that's how we get around these days. So the compass, while fully functional, it is a bit antiquated. Not many people use a compass to find their way around the city. I guess if you were in the mountains or forest, it could be essential, but anyway, compass is or has become antiquated. All right, moving on, guys. What's next? All right, this next one, guys, I don't have a photo, but I did circle the example. You see where I am, guys? Yogi? Omnipotent. Please say it with me. Omnipotent. I don't have a photograph. It means all-powerful. My dear students, I'm not religious, but when I hear this word, I do think about God. Maybe I have seen examples, which is why I think that, but just to make an example, I'm not preaching, but God is omnipotent. Iheheseo. So God is all-powerful. I'm just making an example sentence. Having complete or unlimited power. Look at the example. I circled it on my paper. Hit pause. You see where I am? So in his tiny kingdom, say Luxembourg. Do you know Luxembourg? It's a small country in Western Europe. In his tiny country, the king was omnipotent. Please say it with me. Omnipotent. Yeah, it just means all the power is concentrated in one person. Omnipotent. All-powerful. In Korean, very difficult for me to say. Genji Junji Jun Nunghan. That's it. Omnipotent. Let's go to the next one. Vandal. This is a noun. Maybe you know this one. In Korean, I think it's the same. Vandal. A person who destroys or damages property on purpose. Do you know vandal? I hate vandals. It looks like this. And I hate to be prejudiced, but oftentimes it's teenagers. Not always, but oftentimes it's young people, and they break stuff and spray paint the building. Just anyway, this is an example of vandalism. Here's a picture of me spray painting. I'm prevaricating. So there's a vandal. He's doing his thing. Vandals, often there's no purpose. You know, they just throw a rock at someone's window or break a car window or something stupid, honestly. That's vandalism. And the person is called a vandal. Plural is vandals. My dear students, look at the second example. I put a star by it on my paper. You see where I am? You okay? Hit pause. Put a star by this. Someone who willfully or ignorantly destroys something beautiful. What? Someone who destroys something beautiful? Yes. Take a look at this, guys. This is, as you may know, this is a famous statue called David. It was sculpted by Michelangelo, and it's located in a museum in Florence. In 1991, a lunatic, a vandal, took a hammer in the museum and take a look. So here's a photograph, and you can see these are just visitors, but you can see how big the statue is. Anyway, the vandal took a hammer and started smashing his feet. Yes, of course, he was immediately arrested, but I don't know, maybe he was mentally ill, but sometimes vandals, they don't just break a window or something, like they want to hurt you by destroying something you find precious. Anyway, let's see here. What do I have here? A vandal. So guys, this comes right from your handout. I underlined it in my paper. A vandal is a person, we already discussed, who damages public property and, interestingly, is based on the name of a German tribe that destroyed Rome. So this is where the name comes from. I don't know how well you can see this, guys, but there was a German tribe called the Vandals. You might know this from your history class. And they caused a lot of destruction in Rome. Not just Rome, but France and Spain as well. So, German majors, I'm looking at you. You are vandals. Pretty neat. This is a old drawing of what a vandal looked like. Extraordinary. Anyway, that's where the name comes from. The Vandals. Okay, moving on. This next one you probably already know, but I never hear students say it. Itinerary. Please say it with me. Itinerary. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. A little louder. Itinerary. Yeah, guys, just means travel plan. A proposed, so suggested, a proposed route of a journey. In Korean, 여행 일정. Okay, so looks like this. So where do you want to go? Guys, I chose this word for two reasons. One, I never hear students say it. And two, because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to go anywhere, really. Not just us, but there have been travel restrictions around the world. And only now, November 2021, have those restrictions started to loosen. And well, I mean, for me, the first place I want to go is Migook, just to visit my mom and dad. But I am hopeful you can go abroad and maybe study abroad in your major, whether it's Spain or France, Italy, Germany, etc., Scandinavian countries. So take a look at here. This is, what is this called, guys? Itinerary. So this is someone's itinerary. It's not mine, but it looks good. They start in Holland, and then they go to Germany, and then down to Slovenia and Croatia. Looks good to me. Guys, I brought a book. This belongs to me. I bought this many years ago. I was looking at this last night and trying to remember where I even bought it. And there's a little tag on the back. I was surprised. I thought I bought it at Youngpung Mungo. No, Bandy and Looney's. I totally forgot. Anyway, so this is a travel guide for Western Europe. I'm sure you've seen similar ones. Actually, Korean travel guides are in some ways better. So here's just a map. And if you go in a few pages, I know you've seen this in Korean travel guides. I don't know how well I can show you this, guys. Oh, this is a heavy book. Can you see that? So it looks, by the way, they have a description here and a suggested time to travel, 1 to 2 months. Wow. Okay, so if you have a lot of time and money, you can start your itinerary in Ireland. Go to England, then France, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany, Austria, Italy, maybe Greece, France, Spain. Of course, this is just a suggested itinerary. You can modify it or change it however you like. And they have a couple of pages. See how close I can get. This one is called Mediterranean Journey, and it concentrates on the coast of the Mediterranean. Looks good to me. And I kind of like this one. I know this is hard for you to see, but the title is Roads Less Traveled. What do you suppose that means? Roads less traveled. So guys, whenever we travel, unfortunately, popular places are popular. For example, the Colosseum in Rome. I've never been to Italy, but when we go to famous places, they are swarmed with visitors, like you and I. I mean, they're so famous. And this itinerary, Yogi, Roads Less Traveled, it's kind of interesting because a lot of these places, I know it's backwards on your screen, I've never heard of, or they're not as famous as London or Paris. And I guess if you take this itinerary, maybe it's more quiet. roads less traveled. Anyway, itinerary. Start making an itinerary whenever the pandemic recedes. We should go abroad. I think it will be very healthy for us. Okay, moving on, guys. Oh, this next one. I don't have a photo, but it's an adjective, and I want you to know it, guys. Lucid. Please say it with me. Lucid. It's an adjective. Please say it with me. Lucid. My dear students, in my own mind, it just means clear, particularly writing or speech. Easy to understand. Lucid. So, if you look at your handout, guys, on the second one, lucid writing or speech is clear and easy to understand. And I underlined it on your handout. Look at the example. She gave a clear and lucid account of her plans for the company's future. So, a lucid vision or proposal. So it was, her presentation was clear and easy to understand. It was lucid. In Korean, guys, look at the second translation. I'll try to say it. 명쾌한 설명, a lucid explanation. What is that? Oh, I gave away the answer. Yeah, it just means clear and easy to understand. I don't have a picture, but that's what it means. Let's go to the next one. We'll finish this soon. The next one, content. It's an adjective. Please say it with me. Content. I don't have it on your paper, but it means pleased or satisfied. So, how are you? How are you feeling? I'm content, thanks. It just means good, fulfilled. I am content. I have a definition here, in a state of peaceful happiness. I'm content, yeah. Students often ask me, how is your life in Korea? Honestly, guys, my life in Korea, there are challenges. It's not always perfect, but overall, I'm content. If I was dissatisfied, I would have left many years ago, but I'm content and I love my job. What's next? Look at the example. I can't help it, guys. When a cat purrs, do you know purr, like makes that sound? When a cat purrs, you know it's content. Guys, I just can't help it. So here's a young boy, and he's scratching the chin, underneath the cat's chin, and the cat is in heaven. I know you like dogs, but I like cats. Is this cat content? She looks content to me. I wish I had a cat. Last one. I can't help it, guys. Oh, yes. Content. Again, just means satisfied or pleased. So I have a question for you. Our class, is it going okay this semester? My question to you is, are you content? I hope so. Okay, in Korean, hard. 기분이 좋은. Did I say that correctly? 기분이 좋은? Are you 기분이 좋은? Okay, two more and we're done. This next one, actually, I think you know this next one. I'm not even sure how this ended up on my lecture. Cast, it's a noun. One of the classes into which the Hindu people of India were formerly divided. Now that's interesting, because I think even though Indo has officially, legally abolished the caste system, look at the example, Yogi. The caste system shapes nearly every facet of Indian life. By the way, facet means aspect or part. So the caste system affects or shapes nearly every aspect of life in Indo. Here's a photograph. Another photograph. I find it extraordinary. Indian women. I don't know what caste they are in. Perhaps untouchables. This is the caste most famous people in the so-called untouchables. There's a word for it in Hindi, which I can't remember, but they do menial work, jobs that other people do not want to do. There's an example. Satendra was a member of the untouchable caste. In Korean, it's just caste. I don't know this word, guys. Gyup. Do you see where I am? I don't know this word in Korean. Gyup? I don't know what that is. What is that? Like rigid pyramid? I'm guessing. I don't know. Anyway, gyup. Please let me know in class. Okay, I saved the hardest word for last. Let's see. It's a noun. Tercentenary. It's hard. It's 5 syllables. Tercentenary. Tercentenary. Please say it with me. Tercentenary. It's a number. Tercentenary. So you know decade, century, millennium. Students, tercentenary is the 300th anniversary of something, someone or some important event. In Korean, Sambaek Junyeon Ginyam Hengsa, 300th anniversary celebration. Look at the last example. I circled it on my paper. You see where I am? So, on the tercentenary of Shakespeare's birth, there was an enormous festival held in London. I think Shakespeare was born in 1564, so the tercentenary was held in 1864, so Victorian Britain. This is an interesting photograph. I didn't know Shakespeare had an earring. That's cool. Tercentenary, students, probably not on the test, but I wanted to include one hard word. By the way, even if you're not interested in Shakespeare's plays, I'm not an expert on English literature or Shakespeare, but Shakespeare, is the master of English, the English language. His English ability is extraordinary. I mean, my English will never be as good as his. I really admire his skill, his writing skill. Anyway, tercentenary. Tercentenary, it's hard. 300th anniversary. Okay, I guess we'll stop it here. Guys, it was great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Goodbye.